Are we live yet?
Let me see and put that chat.
I'm waiting
Let me see and put that chat.
for it to go live, and we are here. What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube and Rumble subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Kush back at it again with another New York Giants, not video. You know why I was gonna say New York Giants video? Because it's been like, what is it? I think a solid week or like a week and a half since my last video, and that's the first thing I want to address. What up, Namor? How you doing? But guys, bear with me. I haven't even had a chance. I told myself I gotta upload what my full fall schedule is, so that's work plus school, to community post, so you guys could see that like I'm just generally busy. Like it gives me peace of mind that like at least I know I let my community know that hey, you guys are seeing that like I just straight up don't have time to make as normally as I would have. Granted, I am gonna try my best because the season's basically a week and a half away to like start getting back into the groove of things. But I can't make any promises. I'm actually going to try to graduate. I was supposed to graduate last semester. Life happened. I'm going to try and graduate within the next 2 semesters because I'm going part-time now since I have a job. So bear with me, guys. I know it's going to be a little bit bleak over here, but just stick with your boy. And in a year's time, I know that's a lot to ask for, but forget a year, bro. By May of next year, we going to be good. That's all I'm saying. By May of next year, we gonna be good. What's up, KB? How you doing, man? And guys, as you coming in, we got 12 people right now. I think since we switched to 9, it's been a little bit harder to get viewers because they haven't fully know that we actually switched to 9 o'clock instead of 9:30. So as you're coming in, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, but most importantly, hit that share button to get it out to everybody else. Go ahead, Gio.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm glad to be back on for another week of the Young Guns. We got more news to talk about. It's just so good starting a podcast off and just knowing that there's things to talk about. Like we're finally getting back into the groove of things. The season is upon us right there. So feeling good, man. Feeling good.
Exactly, man. Yo, what up, Super Taj, Hazelnut, AA, KB? You for real look like that Bills punter. I don't.
Taj sent me that. Taj
yeah.
sent me that, and I was like, "That looks." I mean, I could see it, but like, it looks like a plastic surgery version of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know
I
the
don't see
Squidward.
it.
You know the
I don't
Squidward
see it.
version.
I honestly don't see it. Let me look him up right now.
They tagged me in a. I think it was Taj. Tagged me in a picture of him, and he has my same like kind of hairstyle a little bit. Mine's a little longer.
All he has is your goatee and your hairstyle. I think that's it.
And you know,
and he's Latino, bro.
You know the super, yeah, I know. You know the super like sculpted Squidward. That's what he looks like compared. You know, that's what he's like to me.
Nah, I ain't never.
Oh,
I
man.
can never
Yeah,
be. Me personally, I wouldn't take that, bro. But you do you, bro. Me personally, I wouldn't take that.
Taj sent me like put my face and his face together the day of the freaking like the day Matt Araiza like blew up. He's like, hey, you kind of look like him. Put it on Twitter. I'm like, I do not associate myself with this. I don't see. I hope nobody thinks I'm him.
Hold on, bro. Let me.
Oh God. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing changed. I don't know. Yo, that's crazy, bro. I spent like a good $70-$80 on this webcam. It's great for videos, as you guys see, but it's horrible for streaming. It makes no type of sense.
Yeah, I don't know how. Like, what's the difference?
Like when I make a video, y'all see it's like nice and clear. I got some good color, bro. I don't even know how to describe how I look right now, bro.
You look sick. You look pale.
Right? It's like, what? Why is it blurry? You see the blurriness and pixelation like right above here, right? Like,
yeah, it kind of looks like Smokey. It looks like Smokey. Yeah.
I know, right? But what up, Cletus, Chris, Vets? We're going to take your questions. I see you got one there, Chris. For sure, we're going to address them. But, of course, we got the 53-man roster to talk about. We got some cuts that were made a little bit surprising. Less surprising since it looks like some of those cuts are going to make it back onto our practice squad. We had 4 additions off waiver wires. Generally in the NFL, there was a couple trades that went around. Most recent one, which I found hilarious, Jalen Reagor traded to the Minnesota Vikings. I'm like, does that man want to be there, bro? He's gonna be with the guy that caused him to have depression. Like that's not good for him, yo. Why would the Vikings trade for him? They probably made him worse mentally.
Now he has to be in the same room as him when they're doing like film.
You know, I saw this meme and it was hilarious. It's the Homelander looking at the movie meme, and it's like Jalen Reagor looking at Justin Jefferson every day in practice, yo. It's like, why, man? Like, whatever, bro, whatever, man. But there was other trades that went around, and you guys see in the title, I have Tony Jefferson question mark. I'm pretty sure as of an hour ago, we actually did sign him, which is crazy. So yeah, so like maybe I should take that question mark out. But KB, where do you think we should start? As you said, we got a little bit of a good choice of topics here. You pick and go in first.
I feel like we should get into like the meat of it and talk about the 53-man roster because probably take the majority of time doing that. Then we can talk the waiver claims and stuff like that because those are big too because they're part of the 53-man roster now. So I guess we could try to pull up the 53-man roster.
Sure. I'll try. I have the tab open right now.
Position by position.
Yeah, let me see.
What's up, bookend tackles? Yvette's in the building. Cletus and Chris is also. What's going on? AA says, "Year, what up, year?
What up, everybody?" So where you want to start? Offense, defense? Shout out finally, by the way, Daniel Bellinger finally has a tight end number.
I know, man. Finally, get away from that 45,
82,
bro.
Yo. He got Caden Smith's old number.
I really wish he got 88, but it is what it is. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. So I guess we'll start with first quarterbacks. I mean, I was kind of like taken aback a little bit that we didn't keep 3 just because of the injury.
I fully expected us to go into the season with 3. I guess I was wrong there.
Yeah, but we'll talk about the practice squad later, but Davis Webb isn't completely gone yet. So
we don't know for sure. Yeah, they're saying that there's a strong chance he might make it back to the practice squad, but I think we could both agree. I've been saying
he's on it.
He is? He's already on it? Okay, bet. That's what's up. So I've said this a couple times. I've seen other people say it a couple times as well. I feel like Davis Webb earned that second quarterback spot over Tyrod Taylor. But obviously they're paying the man $9 million a year, so it's like
I figured that's the main reason. Oh, Mike!
Shout out to Mike Nixon for the $10 super chat. You about to feel real bad because you asked that question, bro.
I know.
He said, "What up, Cushion KB? I'm sorry I haven't been around much recently. I had COVID and I recently lost my grandma on my dad's side, so I've just been a little depressed as of late. Life hitting me hard." Mike, first things first, man. I hope that you're recovering well from COVID. I hope that you're safe and that you're healthy. Second, I am very sorry to hear about the loss. I know that I've also been missing on Discord, but I've been busy. So if you hit me up at some point to like try and talk, I apologize if I haven't been there, but give me like a text or a Discord call over the weekend, bro. If you need to talk, we're here for you, man. But the Giants community is here for your support, man.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, Mike. We definitely missed you because we've definitely mentioned you in a couple of streams talking about like where's Mike at? Where's Mike at? And also I also missed you like being the first to comment on my videos a lot. So I know you're usually the first one, so I knew something was up. But sorry to hear that, Mike. I really am, man. Really am. I hope you're feeling better as well.
Well, with the Tyrod Taylor thing, like I said, we are paying him $9 million a year, so it's like. Even though I think Davis Webb is the better quarterback at this point, at least what we saw in the preseason, it's not like they were going to put Tyrod on the practice squad if they're going to roll with 2 QBs. Like, that's not a surprise.
Yeah, I agree. But
so I guess you could go to.
This one's interesting.
Oh, go ahead.
This one is interesting. So running back / fullback Chris Myarick is now looked at more like a fullback on the roster. So
I guess he's just really good at blocking. I don't know.
I mean, I guess so, but here's the thing. I've never heard them talk about Chris Myarick as being a potential fullback. Like, that wasn't even in the conversation. Like, I know Andre Miller was supposed to be that guy, and, we had Jeremiah Hall as well working out there, but I didn't hear Chris Myarick's name being mentioned as a fullback or H-back or whatever you want to say, but I guess that's what he is now. I don't think that's going to keep him from being, sort of a tight end. But there's that. So now the tight end spot. This is freaking sad.
Wait, before we move on, bro, hold up.
Sad.
There's we got 5 people at the running back / fullback position. Like you, I'm confused why Myarick is listed there because we're gonna get to tight end soon. There's only 2 tight ends listed, bro. Just list the man at tight end. Why do we have 5 people at basically the running back position? Because let's keep it real. Who's gonna be the fullback here, bro? Bro, once Elijah Penny left the building. One of my favorite underrated Giants. We don't have a fullback. There's nobody here that's a quote-unquote fullback. We got Saquon. We got Matt Breida, who's been missing in action since the moment he signed here. Then we got Gary Brightwell, who, he's good. He's all right. I don't even know if I love what I saw from him in the preseason. I might have liked what I saw from Antonio Williams a bit more. Jashawn Corbin is missing somebody that I really like, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he's on the practice squad, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So that's good. But yeah, this tight end position, man, and Bellinger got concussion right now too.
yeah. So I mean, as far as the running back position goes, I mean those are the running backs I thought would make the roster. Your Gary Bradwell, Antonio Williams, Saquon, and Breida. Um, and the thing is, I was okay with going into the season like without a fullback at all because I
I
mean, if
thought
you
we
look
were
at
gonna move that way because once
yeah,
Elijah Penny left the roster, we don't have anybody that like is actually that quote unquote fullback. We just have running backs.
well, on top of that, I mean, Buffalo's scheme and
And
doesn't really
KC's for that matter.
require
Does
and
KC have
KC's.
a fullback? I don't
I
think
mean, they've
so.
had one a couple of years ago, like Anthony Sherman. I don't know if Kafka was part of their offense at that time, but and I know Buffalo had a fullback a while ago as well. And he was, I get what they did have a fullback a couple of years ago, but I don't think they have one now. That's the point. But I was okay with not even having a fullback because I don't think we're gonna be a power running team anyway. So I mean, I guess it is what it is. Like I said, I don't think that's going to keep Chris Myrick away from being a tight end. I just think whenever we do need a fullback, he will be the guy. But there's that. You can take the next super chat too.
Shout out to Mike once again. Thank you so much for the support, my boy. He says, and to top it off, the Giants cut my guy Yusuf Corker. I will say he wasn't just your guy. Yusuf Corker was like making a name for him. It's not like he was a superstar in the offseason, but he was making a name for himself. I thought he would have made the back end of the roster or something. He says he's disappointed. I would have thought the Giants would have brought him back to the practice squad. They did not, I'm guessing then, just by
They
that
didn't.
statement. They did not.
They didn't.
Which the safety, when we get there, it's like one of the last things we have to talk about on this. Actually, no, they listed safeties and cornerback in the same thing. So it's gonna be in like two groups. They kind of approached the safety position a bit weird, but as we just saw, they signed a vet in Tony Jefferson. Maybe they were waiting out for him, saving a spot for him. We'll see. And one thing to keep in mind, of course, guys, like we said with this weird running back group right here, this isn't the final 53. It's the first 53. This might look really
Initial.
different on
Yeah.
game day.
It
Like by the
already
time week
is.
one rolls around, it already
It
is.
already-
Yeah, like it
yeah.
already is.
It already is. So there's that tight end. Obviously, Tanner Hudson. Like it's crazy how bad our tight end room is. We
I'm
just
gonna
signed
keep. Can I
Tanner
keep
Hudson and he
it?
made
Can
the
I keep it
roster.
real with you, bro?
What's up?
Who's Tanner Hudson?
Right? Right? Yo, tell me one thing.
Bro.
Tell me one thing. I went to my boy's house, right? For a fantasy football draft. He's a Bucks fan, big Bucks fan. And we're watching, we have the Giants game on because his Bucks weren't playing, so he's like, "Hey, just put on your game." So, while we're doing the draft and the Giants are playing at the same time, Tanner Hudson is out there and he makes a play or whatever. And I'm like, "Hey, look, there's your guy, Tanner Hudson. Made a play. He was just on, play for you guys in the preseason." He said, "Who?"
Yo, what team was he from?
I said, wait, Tanner Hudson, the guy. I mean, he was playing pretty well for you guys in the preseason. He's like, I don't even know who that is. I said, damn, he made our 53-man roster, bro.
Yo, first off, big shout out to Diggy in the chat. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Yo,
And
Diggy, what's up, bro?
vibes as well, man. How y'all doing? Diggy says we got Tony Jefferson. Yeah, I'm like 99% sure as of an hour ago that
he's
that
on the
we do
practice
have
squad,
the
though.
man. Yeah, I expect him to move up from the practice squad to the 53,
He will.
like
Yeah, he
the
will. They're
next
gonna find some
53-man
room.
roster or whatever.
They're gonna find some room.
Hey,
But
what up? Is that Scooby? No, that's Subi. My bad.
Hey, Vibes in
NYG
the
edits
building.
and
Eli.
Flex. Yeah.
what up, Eli?
Oh man, and then don't worry, edits. Yeah, I thought Roche should have made the overall roster as well, but he's back now with the practice. No, is he back with the practice squad yet?
Yeah.
He is. Which I
We
was
have-
surprised by. If I was Roche, I would have been a little bit like a little bit offended, bro.
Yeah.
I played games for you last year. I got sacks for you last year. I was your second best edge rusher last year, and now you got me on the practice squad, bro.
Honestly. But,
Yo,
yeah, so I mean, we'll get into that D line in a few, and the
Let's get to the
linebacker position
O-line.
in a few. So let's get to the O line now. I think I had everybody on here when I made my predictions. So I think we went with 9 guys. So obviously we have our starting 5, right? Andrew Thomas, Evan Neal, Shaylen Mew got moved to the IR. Okay, so there we just you get rid of him. Devery Hamilton, Mark Lewinsky, Max Garcia also made it to the practice squad. He got cut and put onto the practice squad. John Feliciano, Josh Zudu, and Ben Bredesen. So, and then obviously we'll talk about the waiver claim later, but we added a guard in there who I don't think it will be too bad. He has a little
We
bit
got a
experience,
guard.
still very young.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
the reason that I am looking forward to the guard we got is because he's from the Eagles, and the Eagles are the new Cowboys. I'm just gonna say it right now, bro. The Eagles are the new
With the
Cowboys
offensive line,
with
right?
offensive line. Yeah,
And check this out.
I
And
can't
check this
deny
out.
it anymore, man.
He was drafted by Joe Shane. Helped Joe Shane helped draft him. He was drafted by the Bills, came to the Eagles, played, and then the Giants. So
That's
I
funny.
mean,
So
yeah.
he was drafted by Joe Shane, then played under our assistant general manager, Brandon Brown, who has a great eye for offensive line. I didn't know he was drafted by Shane. I would have actually guessed he was a Brown guy, but he's a Shane guy, so that's funny. And like I said, I know Brandon Brown has a good eye for the offensive line. So that's why I'm not necessarily excited for the guy, but I got my eye on him. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I said, the Eagles,
honestly,
I hate to admit it, guys, the Eagles got one of the best offensive lines in the league, not just starters, like depth as well.
Honestly, the way I'm looking at it, any addition to this offensive line is possibly an upgrade. I mean, especially
bro,
when it comes to
Max
depth.
Garcia is listed here, and didn't we cut this man already? Or am I tripping?
He's already gone.
He's already gone.
He got replaced by Jack Anderson, but he's on the practice squad. Max, a freaking 30-something-year-old guard who's been in the league forever is on the practice squad. So that's,
yeah.
Okay.
Listen, for those of you that came here from Twitter, from my Twitter post, like the line that I used was, is the roster one injury away from sadness? In other words, is this a paper thin roster, or is it a deep enough roster to make some noise? Listen, when it comes to the offensive line, I don't care what anybody says, we're paper thin. We got good starters. I think our offensive line is good enough starting wise, but once you go past that starting five, it's clipped.
Like the goal. All right, let me tell you something right now, because there's not one depth offensive tackle we have on this roster. Look at it. You could argue
I will say,
Josh
we know that Matt Pert is gonna come back because he's been dealing with his injury all off season. So once he's healthy, I'm sure that he's gonna be on the 53 as our backup tackle. Other than that, where's our 6th round pick? Am I tripping? Oh, he's injured. Of course he is.
Yeah.
I forgot. We had like 7 injured
McKeithen.
offensive linemen this offseason. Yo, that's crazy.
McKeithen, yeah, the 5th rounder. But
think about that. We had like 7 injured O linemen this offseason. At least 7.
Yep.
Because we went through 7 centers. 7 players that played at the center position. Let me correct myself. Not 7 actual centers. That would have been crazy. That would have been ridiculous.
Dude, Max Garcia was playing center for a little bit, I think.
Oh my God. Thank God we cut Jamil Douglas, bro.
Yeah.
Yo. No disrespect to you, man. I hope you get a good career in whatever you pursue after football, but you are not supposed to play center ever again in your life, man. All right.
All right, let's move on to the wide receiver position.
Hold up. Let me get some of the comments. You know, I don't want the chat to scroll out too far. What up, Flex? How you doing? Let's see. Flex says, I'm upset they got rid of Bachman though, and great timing because we're about to get to the wide receivers. I am too. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. I'm not a David Sills guy.
Here's the thing.
We should have kept Alex Bachman or Alec Bachman. Which one is it?
Alex
Bachman over David Sills. All right. That man was the preseason MVP.
He was. He was. He led the preseason, all of the preseason, with 19 receptions. Okay, I think he led all the preseason another stat as well. But I mean, he had a really strong preseason. So, that's good. The only thing I would argue with that is David Sills is literally the only like true outside receiver besides Kenny Golladay, and I guess that he had to make the team by default, in my opinion. So Alex Bachman isn't like. I'm not saying he could or can't play the outside, but he's not a true outside guy. You know what I'm saying? So,
and of course, we know that our quarterback likes David Sills. Like he says he's a tactician. There seems to be some sort of connection there. Yeah,
the tactician. There's a guy out there who got cut by the Buccaneers, Tyler Johnson, who I would be very, very, very happy if we replace David Sills with Tyler Johnson. That would be nice. That would be a really good upgrade in the back end of our roster. But all right, so the Giants elect to keep 7 receivers so far. Before we
shout out to my guy Richie James making it, by the way. In fact, let's actually read out the receivers there. Kenny Golladay, Richie James, Wan'Dale Robinson, Sterling Shepard, David Sills, Darius Slayton, which was a surprise to some fans, Kadarius Toney. Shout out to Richie James. Like I said, I really liked him. Got to see him in person. I feel like he could do some good things for us. Of course, our starting three: Kenny, Wandale, Kadarius. Kenny and Kadarius have their injury issues. Number 4, Sterling Shepard, who's been like the best wide receiver on the Giants for the past 5 or 6 years, also has his injury issues. And then we get into the depth: Darius, David, and Richie. Let me just get these other couple comments and then I'll let you go because I know you had a thought to say about the 7 wide receivers. Subi, Vibe said maybe he's not a scheme fit and referring to Roche, and we're going to get to that defensive line / linebacker spot soon, my man. I hope you can stick with us. Sal says our roster, Sal says our roster's so ass. No one we cut got picked up. Buckle up and pray no one gets hurt. I didn't peep that. Is that true? Can somebody real quick fact check that, bro?
But here's the thing. It's true, but it's kind of like misleading because the Giants actually signed on their practice squad. They have 16 practice squad spots. They signed 15 of our own guys. The only person that's not from the Giants is Tony Jefferson. Like everybody else that we cut, we put on the practice squad pretty much.
Okay, heard you.
So that's the only reason why a lot of guys weren't picked up. So
I mean, isn't Alex Bachman still out there? I hope he finds a place.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter. I didn't fact check this. I heard that he declined the practice squad and tried to see opportunities.
The thing
else.
is if I was him, I would definitely I would do the same because I'm sure you put your name on the map.
For 3 years. He's been on this roster for 3 years. Couldn't crack the starting roster. So I would try my luck with another. And hopefully maybe they say, hey, you can come back. But I would try my luck too to try to get to any active roster.
Exactly. Subi says Douglas was a mess. Super Taj says Douglas wasn't good. NYG31 says our O-line better stop getting injured. This O-line is weak. Referring to the depth, I agree with you. Subi says we got plenty of slot receivers. Going back to the point you were saying, it's just kind of Sills and Galladay as our outside ones. Yvette says I stayed disrespectful. I don't know what you're talking about, my boy. You better watch your tone in this household. Diggy says we kept Sills because him and Galladay are only big body guys after Colin got hurt. That's another thing. We got O-line injuries. I completely forgot Colin Johnson got hurt as well. Oh yeah, that was that Monday last week, wasn't it? After the game, where everybody just got hurt, man. Jesus.
The day the world stood still.
Right? Go ahead, KB. You were saying 7 wide receivers.
Oh yeah. Just real quick. I mean, this is the first time I actually seen the Giants keep 7 wide receivers. That's how you can tell like Dable is such a different sort of coach scheme wise than the ones we've had before. Like I know Pat Shurmur was kind of like a pass happy sort of minded offensive coach, but Dable is really like doubling down. Like he's keeping 7 receivers. I mean, part of that is really because we have a lot of like decent depth at the receiver position. Like it's not spectacular, but Richie James had a really good camp. David Sills is like good, but is like okay. I mean, he's good. I mean, he's all right. But and then obviously you guys, we got Kenny Galladay who's paying a lot of money. Sterling Shepard who's still under contract. It's still good. Probably our best receiver right now. There's Kadarius Toney and then Wandale. So we have a lot of drafted guys in there and guys that we're paying money to. I would think that you would try to keep as much as you can, and they did. So I mean, I'm happy that there's that much receivers there.
So I want to answer one question real quick from chat. King Chris TV says, who do we get today? So to my knowledge, we got 5 people earlier on the day. We got a guard from the Eagles, Jason Anderson, 2 defensive backs, Justin Lane from the Steelers, Nick McLeod from the Bills, and a safety, Jason Pinnock from the Jets. Then literally like maybe a little over an hour ago, we got somebody that was rumored to us for a couple days now, maybe a week at most, familiar with Don Wink Martindale's scheme, recently cut by the Ravens, veteran safety Tony Jefferson. So that also answers some questions that we're going to get to when we get to the safety group here about how the Giants kind of dealt with the safety group this offseason, which is we cut our guy Andrew Adams, who I think did a pretty good job, and we kept like really, really young and inexperienced guys, for lack of a better word, at that position. You could give your quick thought, and then we'll get back to the wide receivers.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed by Andrew Adams, but that's all I'll say. And yeah, we signed Jason Pinnock, not to get confused with Justin Pinnock. Okay, just don't confuse that. But Jason Pinnock. I just thought their names are so freaking similar when I was trying to say it, but yeah.
Shout out to Ash, my boy. Y'all need to check him out on Twitter.
Ash, what up, man?
I'm waiting for Ash to debut a new certain something that I made for him a little while back. I'm just
Asher,
saying.
why is Wavid Wills on my team? Because he's Wavid
You just
Wills, all
called him
right?
Wavid Wills, bro. You
He's not.
answered your own
You just
question.
called him that. Yeah, he's not Lavid
You
Wills, all
answered
right?
your own question, bro.
He's a
What?
freaking tactician, bro.
Oh
He's the
man.
he's the real 13. We have the real 13, man. Come on, bro.
King Chris TV says, "Is Pinnock any good? I haven't had a chance to look at him, so I can't say. What I will say is I'm looking forward
Jets
to the
fans
guard,
liked
though.
him. Jets
Jets
fans
fans
liked him
like
as
them.
like a depth safety. They were rooting for him a lot, and they were actually pretty bummed out that he got cut. So
Hold up, Ash. You just got the new MacBook Pro with the M2 chip? I just
M2
got the
chip?
new MacBook with the M2 chip, bro.
Twinsies.
We on the same level, bro.
Twinsies.
Twinsies, bro.
Twinsies.
Did you see my? Yeah, I'm not even joking. So, just quick backstory. So, you guys know I've been super busy because of work and whatnot. And what I realized is that if I want to continue in that career path, I had a career path either way. So, I'm a computer science student in school, which means I need a good computer to run my software engineering and code and all that stuff. And then I'm also obviously a media person. That's what I do for my job. My laptop cannot handle that, bro. I was running an old Dell Latitude from like 2017. So I need to upgrade, and I got that M2 chip, bro. That's what's up. Let's get back to this wide receiver, though. KB, one thing I noticed, and it's more because, like you said, it's just the guys we had on roster and who got injured. We kept more slot receivers than kind of big outside guys. Just by the nature of slot receivers, they're usually smaller, more agile, can cut better, sometimes run routes better. It kind of fits the offensive style as well of Dayball and Kafka.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about the wide receivers. I was reading Diggie's comment.
I need a new co-host. Go ahead.
I didn't mean. I was laughing at that. I didn't mean to yawn while he was talking computers. I just yawned just to yawn. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Repeat that, man.
I'm not repeating that whole spiel, bro. I just said we kept more slot wide receivers. That's kind of reflective of like the scheme a little bit, even though it's also just because of reality. It's what we have.
Well, I think that's been the reality of the Giants roster for a while now. Like you go back all the way to 2016. I mean, I know Odell was like he could play outside, but he's like more so like a good slot guy. Like, we always had smaller receivers on this roster for a while now. So, I mean, I feel like that's part of the reason why I guess Dable fits over here with the personnel that we have. So KB with the disrespect. I didn't mean the yawn while he was talking computers. All right.
Listen, let me just get a couple of these chats. Nova says Fist talking crazy cap about Jones. What's up?
Are you like Apple over Windows or?
All right. So not to get into a spiel because obviously my co-host has certain feelings about certain things. All right. So it's yes and no. For desktop, I'm PC all the way because I'm a big proponent of just build your own, and your money's gonna be way better when you build your own stuff. With desktop, you can max it out however you want. But with laptop, because of the M1 and M2 chip, I'm Apple because there's no rival chipset that can compare to it for the price, if that makes sense. You're getting the best bang for buck, even though it's a lot of bucks when you go with the MacBook series and stuff.
Yeah, because I wish I knew a lot about computers, but I just don't.
King Chris says, are any of the corners we picked up good? Do you know?
We didn't pick up any corners. I mean, Justin Lane is not really a corner, and McLeod. Here's the thing about McLeod. He's the one I'm least excited about, but I trust Dable and Shane because they brought him in as an undrafted free agent from the Bills in last year. And if they're bringing him in here, that means they see something in him that he's making the active roster. Like he's not making the practice squad. He's going to be on the active roster. So, I mean, I'm going to put my confidence in it, but he really hasn't had any playing experience at all. He got cut. He got brought on as an undrafted free agent, was waived a couple of days later last year, was signed by Cincinnati, and then Cincinnati let him go, and then was brought back onto the Bills practice squad, and that's where he remained throughout until where he is now. So, I mean, I don't know too much about McLeod. He's okay. Justin Lane, however, I remember Justin Lane. I think it was 2019 he was drafted. Justin Lane was a safety out of Michigan. That's how I remember him. Safety out of Michigan. I don't know. I haven't been following him in his career, but I guess he transitioned to cornerback. So he's a cornerback now, which is weird. He's a taller cornerback. He's like 6'2" almost, like 190 pounds, something like that. He's a bigger cornerback. So I'm excited to see what we get from him. I would more so prefer him to play safety, but I mean, if they put him at cornerback and he works out, then so be it. I guess you can call him a corner. So I guess I would put more faith in Justin Lane than McLeod. But I like the pickups. They're not bad. I expect it to change again throughout the season. And Rodarius Williams on IR, he's going to come back sometimes towards the season. So one of those guys are going to be out. So, yeah, there's that with the cornerbacks. But
Yeah. And then shout out to Yuvraj. You said, what up, Kush KB? Sorry, I haven't been active in chat. I've been overseas for a bit, but I'm back and ready for this Giant season. Guys, anytime
Yes,
any of
sir.
y'all just have to take off some time from YouTube ain't your life. There's no need to apologize. We appreciate it
Yeah,
whenever you're
man.
here, man. Always going to appreciate it. Hey, I can't even speak on it that much because I haven't been active. Now, just
Hey,
like
we
y'all.
took a break. Yeah, we
but
took a
like
break.
just like y'all, we got lives, you know what I'm saying? Stuff happens.
Life goes on, guys. Life goes on. You know?
Exactly. We will obviously, this is a passion of mine and KB's as well. We'll try our best to be here whenever we can with all the effort we can. But life happens. Khalil Pimpleton, as Mike Nixon mentioned. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. I saw him on HBO's Hard Knocks with the Lions. We brought him in for a workout.
That kid, man.
I like the kid, but I think it was episode 3. That man was a drop warrior, bro. He was like dropping everything they threw his way.
Yeah, the third episode, he dropped a lot of balls, and then he kind of picked it up towards the end, but he only finished with like 3 catches. But yeah, he got a little bit in his head, and honestly, I'm rooting for the kid. Trust me, I am, because I really like him from Hard Knocks. But where does he fit? I mean, like, we have so many smaller receivers. He's 5'7". Like, what does he really add that we don't have already? You know? So if we do bring him onto the practice squad, I don't see him making the active roster anytime soon. So
yeah. So let's get 2 DBs. We briefly just talked about the 2 DBs we brought on. They, keep in mind, guys, they kind of lump together corners and safeties.
I hate that. I had to freaking count
because it hides the kind of the depth problem we have at that position. And it's like, why are we carrying 5 running backs when we should probably be carrying 2 more DBs? But this is what it is. Dane Belton, Cordell Flott, Fear to Flott. Once again, guys, for next year, he's developing this year. He's young. Darnay Holmes, Adoree Jackson, Julian Love, Xavier McKinney, Aaron Robinson, and Rodarius Williams. Go ahead, KB.
So Rodarius Williams already got put onto the IR, so he got replaced by McLeod and Justin Lane. So that means they took out 1 safety and added 2 more. So I mean, I guess that adds, unless they put Justin Lane as a safety / cornerback and he could play both. But I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory to me. I don't really have a problem with it.
If we look at like safeties versus corners, Xavier and Julian, right? Then Dane Belton and I guess Tony Jefferson.
They only have 3 safeties right now.
Yeah, but like obviously Tony Jefferson will come, so that will make it 4. Like you said, Rodarius goes on IR, so he's off, and that leaves us with Adoree, Darnay, Aaron. No, I'm sorry, Aaron's the one. No, Rodarius, right? Yeah, Aaron, Cordell. That's 4. So we'll be 4 and 4.
Oh, 4. Yeah, 4.
So yeah, we are kind of thin. We have 1 backup corner.
Yeah, and I knew those were going to be 2, like the defensive backs were going to be a big position they're going to target in the waiver claims, because look at the depth there. I mean, I knew Rodarius Williams was going to hit the IR because he hasn't played since he hasn't played any of the preseason.
I was going to say, man, I'm looking at the linebacker group and I'm like, we could like use less of both inside and outside guys.
Thank you.
And so that we could have more defensive backs, because we need more defensive back depth.
I said, why the hell do we need 7 inside linebackers when we play a nickel 3-4 defense? You're gonna only see Blake Martinez and Tay Crowder and maybe Micah McFadden. Like, you're never gonna see Cam Brown, Carter Coughlin, or Austin Kalicha on the field. You're never, besides special teams. And there's no way you're gonna devote a whole position to just special teams. That's the part I'm pissed off about the most. They got so much inside linebackers they could have used for other positions. Like, why do we have
inside and outside, bro? In my opinion, we should just have like 4 each, yo. And I know that cuts it down quite a bit, but like, we need more defensive, specifically cornerbacks. We have 4 corners right now because Rodarius is on IR.
I'm okay with 6. I had because in my predictions, I gotta be consistent. When my predictions, I had 6 edge rushers too. I just think there's a lot of edge rush talent that we should keep. But Quincy Roche not being one of them is appalling, just appalling. But we've kind of figured things out. Ellerson Smith got put onto IR, so that's why he made it over Quincy Roche, because they had to technically make him part of the 53-man roster to then put him on IR. So I honestly think Quincy Roche is going to be up on this 53 soon. In my honest opinion, I think soon Quincy Roche is going to be back in the 53 once they figure out all the adjustments with the roster. A very surprising thing, the Giants. I mean, we kind of skipped past inside linebacker. We talked about it a little bit, but it's pretty self-explanatory, right?
We also
We don't really
skipped
need to
D-line. Wait, let me just give my quick
Okay.
thoughts on it. Like you, yeah, obviously I said I think we should have maybe a little bit less, devote some more spots to the corners. Not really a surprise in those who made it. Shout out to Miz in chat. As he said, Darian Beavers, I do believe, was a big loss. I think he really was pushing Daquartavius Crowder for that second starting spot. And you better watch the way you talk about Cam Brown, my boy. That's all I'm gonna say. When
Listen,
it comes
I like
to
Cam Brown. No, Cam Brown should make the roster. That's
I
fine.
mean, he's a captain.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
Well,
it after
yeah.
this. He's
Yeah,
a
10
special teams
captains too,
captain.
golly.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, why do we have 10
There's more Chiefs than
captains,
Indians.
bro?
There's more
Why?
Chiefs than Indians.
Why do we have 10? Well, that's a conversation for after we wrap up, and we got 3 groups left. Let's go to the defensive line.
Integrity of the captain, the captains. You know, like we got 10 of them now. You
Yeah,
serious?
let's go to the D line, man. So DJ Davidson, Justin Ellis, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Nick Williams. I feel like I've been saying this all off season. The D line depth is not something I like. It used to be one of the strongest parts of the team. Now it's a little bit weaker. Of course, our 2 starters in Dex and Leonard are gonna be absolute monsters. Who would be opposite of Dex here? Is it Justin? I mean, opposite of Leo, would it be Justin Ellis?
No, it's good. Opposite. Leo is Dexter.
I think they're gonna put
Nose
Dexter in the
tackle.
nose.
I know. The more and more I look at it, I don't think they're gonna put unless they put Justin Ellis at that 3 technique, right? Unless they do that and put Dexter Lawrence at nose, then that makes sense. But I mean, I guess you could say Justin Ellis would be a 3-4 defensive end, but I don't want anybody to think that he's rushing off the edge, okay? Because he's like obviously like a big D tackle, right? So
Yeah.
I don't want to get anybody confused. He's going to be playing 3 technique, which is pretty much just defensive tackle. So
Yeah.
it'll be considered 3-4 defensive end in like that scheme, but he's a defensive tackle. So I guess you're right. It will be Justin Ellis opposite of Leo Williams, Dexter Lawrence at the nose, and then you'll put whatever outside linebacker, on the other side. So
Yeah, let me just read through these real quick, then we'll get to outside linebacker. Ash says Brown should be on this team, but I don't think Carter Coughlin should be. Kind of a spicy take, because for some reason a lot of Giants fans love Carter Coughlin just like they love Ellerson Smith, and we'll get to the outside linebacker in a second. Super Tosh says he better be. Tim says, will the Giants trade Darius Slayton in 2023 fourth to the Colts for Isaiah Rodgers? With all the trades I've seen going around, and that's also a topic we'll talk about, what I like to call cheap trades, I don't even think a 4th would be necessary. Like, I've seen mad trades with 6th and 7th round picks, yo.
Yeah.
Diggy says way too many captains on the team, and Blake isn't one of them. That is something notable. Definitely a topic.
And I heard that he also obviously Xavier McKinney is now the one calling the plays.
He's the one. We knew that for I think about a month now. It's just the nature of Wink's scheme. But like, of course, I'm on Blake. I still feel hurt. You know what I'm saying? I lost the play calling position, and I lost my captain badge, bro. That's sad.
That's weird how he lost that captain badge, man. That's
the
weird.
thing is, as we know, that's voted by peers. So we'll see.
So everybody's an op.
Miz says you have 10 captains when you truly don't have one. I get what he's saying, and I kind of agree. I feel like there's maybe 1 or 2
That's
dudes
what I said.
that were named captains.
Too much Chiefs not allowed.
Yeah, I feel like there's 1 or 2 dudes that like really and truly deserve it. Like Leo, I feel like definitely deserves it. I definitely think that Xavier McKinney earned a spot, and like I love Andrew Thomas. I don't know how he is in the locker room. My love for Andrew Thomas would say that, yeah, give him one, and Saquon. Saquon's been a captain essentially since his 2nd year, so no surprise there. So I guess those guys.
You got to go Daniel Jones, even though I don't really see.
I actually disagree. My thing is, and we're not in the locker room. Just like anything here, we're just fans giving our thoughts, right? And I know I might get some backlash for this. Daniel Jones, I'm giving him a chance. I'm the only reason I'm saying this because people think I'm a Daniel Jones hater now. I'm giving him a chance this season, as I have all seasons I've been like talking about this team. But I don't think he's captain material. I think they voted for him out
It's the
of like
quarterback.
respect of the quarterback position.
That's
I
how it
don't think
is.
he's a true
That's how
leader.
it is.
You know what I'm
That's how it
saying?
is, dude.
People, and the thing is, Daniel Jones stands is what I'll call them. They love to say Eli was the same way, but that's not true. Eli was a leader. Eli was a leader of men. We need to stop this. We saw Eli take control of games. We saw Eli take control of the locker room. We've heard many times Michael Strahan talk about Eli's leadership and several other players in the locker room. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You want to get to the outside linebacker, or you got something to add?
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But Ash, is that true? He cussed out the teammates in that game versus Tampa? For real?
I don't know if he cussed out teammates. I'm pretty sure he just said, "Let's go effing win this game." I might be wrong about that.
Oh, I gotta see that. I gotta see that sound clip. But
Yeah.
yeah, and I guess real quick on the inside linebacker position, my boy Micah McFadden, he's making plays. He I know, like, sucks for Darian Beavers, but Micah McFadden is gonna take this opportunity and he's gonna win the starting job from Tate Crowder. I'm telling you right now. He's already showing it. He's already showing it. And and I like Cam Brown as well. A lot of people are saying Carter Coughlin shouldn't have made the roster. I could tend to agree with that, but really, Carter Coughlin is really not that far off from Cam Brown. Let's be real. I mean, on special teams, I guess Cam Brown is a lot better, but Carter Coughlin is really not that much of a downgrade as far as being a linebacker. But outside linebacker, so the only undrafted free agent rookie that we signed was Timon Fox. He was a
Hey
big
man, he
fan
earned his spot
favorite.
with that forced fumble, bro.
He did, and he was a big fan favorite too when the Giants took him in and signed him as an undrafted free agent. Like, you just watch him, and he also broke Lawrence Taylor's sack record as far at North Carolina, right?
I did not know that. I didn't
That's
know
that's
that.
that's what people told me. That's what people told me. As far as Ash's Twitter Spaces, but that can get a lot very unhinged sometimes. So, I guess that's true. And then Ellerson Smith got put on to the IR. We haven't replaced him yet, so there's 5 edge rushers that we have. I'm hoping
With
Quincy Roche
Roche,
can find his way back in.
we'll see if he finds his way back up to the 53. If he doesn't, he's technically on the team with the practice squad. But yeah, I like our outside linebacker group, man. We got Aziz and Kayvon. I feel like most people, that's our Russian duo of the future.
Yeah.
Good backups in what I would assume would be Johad Ward and O'Shane Zimenez up next, and then Timon Fox and Ellerson Smith. If the thing is, you got to think about if Quincy works his way back up, right? I feel like everybody, just like how Darius Slay was kind of surprised, everybody was kind of surprised that O'Shane made it over Quincy. But if he works his way back up, I guess he'll take Timon Fox's spot. Because the only reason, like Vibe
remember,
said
like I
earlier,
said-
that I could think they really kind of demoted him so much is that he probably doesn't fit the scheme that well. But I honestly
Well,
don't know enough about X's and O's of football to answer that question.
Well, remember, like I said, Ellerson Smith is on the IR, so everybody clears up a spot.
Okay, then.
So Quincy Roche can try to make it on. And I definitely think Quincy Roche takes reps away from Timon Fox. I literally only think Ellerson Smith made the roster is so they could transfer him to IR, because that's the only way you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll
Do
see
you
what
think maybe
happens
they
with
told
that.
Quincy that then, and he was like, okay?
I would hope so. They communicate with him.
Why not
Because
do it with
if I'm
Timon Fox, bro?
if I,
Like, what?
yeah, on top of that, if I wasn't told that and I'm Quincy Roche, I'm going to go find an opportunity somewhere else. I think my film speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And quick little question, a tiny bit off topic, but talking about Lawrence Taylor. So they didn't count sacks when he was a rookie in the NFL, but they counted sacks when he was in college.
Well, didn't college football as a sport, organized sport, exist way longer than the NFL?
They did, but they were existing at the same time when he was in college. So did they count sacks in college and not count?
I guess
sacks in
so.
the NFL?
I mean, even if they didn't, like, people have gone back and counted the sacks in his rookie year. It's just not quote unquote official, which is stupid. They should make it official now.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then finally, special teams, 3 people: punter, kicker, and long snapper. Casey Crater, one of the best long snappers in the league. Graham Gano, one of the best kickers in the league. Jamie Gillen, nice surprise this offseason. We'll see how he does this year for us.
Yeah. But yeah, nothing too much to say about that.
Subi says Lemieux as of now out 4 games. Damn. Wow.
Who else?
Going back to the O-line, man. What's up?
Who has Asher said hearing he might have severe turf toe. Who has severe turf toe? Who that? Who that? He might be talking about Ellerson. Somebody Ellerson?
Might be. While you just address chat real quick, I'm gonna pull up the captains.
Oh, Lemieux. He's talking about Lemieux has severe turf toe. Well, that's just goes to show you that we need to hurry up and get grass on here.
Yeah, just like I said, I'm gonna pull up the captains, and you could address the chat, I guess.
Yeah. Lemieux is as of now out for 4 games. Well, it's 4 games until he could come back. It could really be any time during the season. So that kind of won't give you a lot of confidence, to be honest with you guys. But I mean, that's what it is. Yeah, that's a lot of captains, bro. That's I think didn't we have like 6 with Joe Judge? Even I thought that was a little much, but
10 captains, yo.
10 freaking
10
captains.
out of 53 players. That's wild. That's
Why
basically
is Casey
20%,
Crater a
yo.
captain?
That's basically 20%.
Why
That's
is
facts,
Casey
bro.
Crater-
We only need one special teams captain. We only need one special teams captain.
Bro,
Yo, listen,
this dude just showed up.
This
Dude
is-
just showed up, and he shows up for practice and just freaking long snaps real quick, and then freaking I don't know what he does, hang around the damn cafeteria. And
This
said,
is how usually captains go, bro. It's like 2 or 3 on offense, 2 or 3 on defense. So that's 4 to 6 right there. And you're already reaching what most people would consider a lot. And then 1 on special teams, my boy. Why do we have
3?
Why do we have 3 on offense, 4 on defense, and 3 on special teams? You know what's crazy? We have 4 on defense, 2 defensive lines, 2 safeties, bro. No linebacker, no Blake. No outside linebacker either if they wanted to make one the outside linebacker something. That's and what I'm wondering is, since captains is a player voted position, did the players just vote for 10? Did the players want this, bro? Like, I need to know how this works.
I think maybe that they were like, it's crazy. This is a weird. I mean, I don't think this is like a big possibility, but maybe they like tied up. That all the names were like tied up as far as amount of votes, and they were like, oh damn, I guess we got 10 captains because they're tied up. I mean, who's gonna beat them out? I don't know. Maybe that's the case, but that's like a really like low chance that. I don't know, man. They need to talk about that. I hope Dable addresses that. I hope somebody asks him that question. Like, I hope it's like Pat Leonard likes to ask stupid questions.
We're not gonna get an answer, bro. We know we're not gonna get an answer.
Captains, bro. Why is there 10 captains? I don't understand. To me, ideally, I think there should be like 5 captains. I know it's an odd number, but 5 captains is plenty. It's enough. Like, I think 60 was even too much when Joe Judge was here. But that's just me, maybe. But
yeah. Bookend says they voted for DJ because the players respect him. I think all his teammates have his back with all the trash he gets. Current, I think he said maybe current and present or current and past players that leave. Oh yeah, current and players that leave all have good things to say about him. That's very true. Like, we haven't heard a bad word said about DJ from anybody. So I don't necessarily disagree with you there. Havet says Casey Grader is a captain over Blake. That's laughable. Nova says all I know is I'm already extremely discouraged by Tony's leg, and I'm going to blow a fuse if I see Kayvon week 1. I'm not extremely discouraged. I'm a little discouraged by Tony's leg, and I better not see Kayvon Thibodeau on the field until like the Cowboys game or after the Cowboys game. Like, he needs to stay out for like a month, bro.
One captain that I'm really happy made it was Julian Love. I said this from his rookie year. Listening to him talk in press conference, stuff like that, and just the way he conducts himself, like seeing those like mic'd up sessions and stuff like that with Julian Love. I love him, and I thought he should have been.
I said, haha. You love Julian Love.
No pun intended. But I really, really am happy that Julian Love got a captain badge because he deserves it. From year 1, he was out there being a leader out there on defense. So I'm happy that he finally got it. And this is like his third year.
No, he's in the same year as Saquon. This is his
no, it's not his same year.
No, he was a year after. This is his 4th year. Same as Daniel.
Yeah, he's in Daniel Jones's draft.
Yeah. So, yeah, Daniel, Saquon, Andrew, like, Saquon has had it for years now. Daniel has had it for years, so no surprises there. Andrew, like I said, he's my favorite player on the team. I'm not going to disagree with it, but I'm really thinking in my head, there's a lot of captains, man. Leo definitely deserves it. Low-key our best player on the team. Dexter, that was Dexter a captain last year? I can't remember.
I was just thinking about that. I don't know. And the fact that we both are wondering that, maybe he was.
Maybe
Maybe he
he
was a captain
was.
last year.
Of course, Xavier completely unearned his spot. Like he said, Julian has
Yeah,
been just a
yeah.
complete hard worker for all 4 years. He's worked his way up to it. Cam Brown, I love you,
And
bro,
then
but like,
those
how did
3,
you
and
get
then
that?
and then there's 3. Like, what the
How did
hell?
you
Like,
get it? Like the default special teams captain, Graham Gano, you obviously like I got no problem with you having it. And
he had it
Casey,
last
how'd you
year, if
get
I'm
it,
not
bro?
mistaken. I think Gano had it last year too.
Yeah,
But
it's
Casey Crater, bro, are you freaking? This guy looks like a elementary school gym teacher, bro. What is this? What is this?
bro. Don't
Is he in
disrespect
that?
him. He's on
Is he
Twitch,
in that
bro.
locker room? Be like,
He's
hey
talked
guys,
to me on Twitch. I've
let's go
talked
out
to a
there and
Giants player on
let's
Twitch,
go out there and be the best player we can be. I'm gonna snap this ball real quick, and all right, I'm going to the cafeteria. All right, later, guys.
bro.
But honestly, I have a like legitimate question. Like, I get like Cam Brown, right? He plays special teams and defense, right? But like guys like Graham Gano and Casey Crater, let's be honest. Like, it's no secret in the NFL. They talk about this. The special team only guys, they don't do anything in practice. They literally kick the ball or snap the ball or whatever, and they just chill. They don't show up to OTAs because they're not even needed. They're like the last to show up in practice. They don't do anything at all. Like, what are they doing? Are they like gathering everybody up and giving the rah speeches? Like, what are the special teamers doing? Like the just special teamers, like the kickers, the punters, the long snappers. Like, what are they doing? What do they
hmm
do in practice? After they practice long snapping the ball for 45 minutes, what do you do for the rest of the time? I don't know. I
Kind of
don't know.
disrespectful to
I'm sorry, I
kickers and
had to
punters
rant a
right
little bit because I think that's
now.
ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous. 10 is just too much, bro. And I just like, what do you guys do? I don't know, but
they play in the National Football League. All right,
that's true. That's true. That is true.
that is what they do right there. Lamar
That is
says,
true.
and shout out to G-Man for life. Guys, quick
Uh,
question. Do you think Darius Slayton is safe because he is one of his favorites? They are fielding calls on Slayton, which is their job. Even though us fans want Slayton gone, or not all fans, but most of us, um, I don't think they're actively shopping him. I think that he's
Diggy,
safe.
Diggy, I get your point there with Diassi, but remember, Diassi was part of this organization for just as long, almost just as long as Eli was. So everybody respected Diassi, and he already commanded that sort of like respect from the moment that people got that they knew Diassi was that guy. He's been there forever. He spent like almost, I want to say, like 15 years with us. So that's crazy. Zach Diassi was one of the few Giants left, along with Eli, that like was there during Super Bowl, like both the Super Bowls. He was there for a while, man. He lasted a while, but I get your point on that. You know, the voice carries and obviously like the locker room stuff. But I'm like, my question is, when are they there in the locker room? Like, they're not there with these guys every single day. Now, I'm not gonna say nothing because they voted him. There was the players themselves that voted them in there. So I guess they command some sort of respect. But I'm just like wondering where that like where are they? Like, are they like rooting on their teammates in practice while they're sitting there, having a freaking smoothie or something? Like, I don't know.
I've I don't know Otter, man. Um, and then you read Diggy's comment.
Yeah.
Julian Love, cornerback too. I don't know about that, but he is a Swiss Army knife, so I'm with you on the Swiss Army knife agenda. Nova says Julian Love is fire. I hope he gets more reps at corner this season, especially if Robinson keeps getting cooked.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
hoping Jefferson can have an impact at the safety, so Love can help at corner. Really good point. I
Mm-hmm.
would once again, we should have just kept Andrew Adams. It's not like he had a bad offseason with us. He had a good offseason with us. I really thought he was going to make the 53. I really did. But he did not. We got
So
Tony
who is that?
Jefferson, Andrew Adams. We got
Oh,
Tony Jefferson, and of course I'm a little bit happy because he's familiar with the system. I hope, like you, Nova, that Julian Love gets some reps at the corner. He has experience there, so that we could take some of the pressure off of these
yeah.
other guys, and that Jefferson could come in and fill
I
in for
don't
Love.
I don't know why. I mean, I guess Julian Love is already accustomed to being safety, right? So I guess that's why Joe Shane really didn't want to touch that and like transition him back to cornerback. But I don't know what Julian Love's issue was at cornerback. He was a fine cornerback, and honestly, he would have been he was like the slot cornerback that the Giants should have had before Darnay Holmes. Like, let's remember, I guess back years the Giants drafted a slot corner, right? So, no, 4 years in a row the Giants drafted a slot corner. Julian Love, was projected to be one of the better slot corners in that draft. Then we got Darnay Holmes. Then we got Aaron Robinson. Then we got Cordell Flott. That's crazy. But I just put that together. But I don't know what the problem is with Julian Love. I don't think he's a bad player at cornerback. Like he had like a second round grade as a cornerback coming out of his respective draft in 2019. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I
I
don't know.
I I feel you on the confusion, man. That's
Yeah,
all
I
I can say.
Yeah, Nova says, why cut Adams? I still don't understand it. Like looking at this roster, still don't understand it. Because first of all, I think we cut Andrew Adams before Tony Jefferson was cut. So it's not like we were making room on the roster for Tony Jefferson. And then a lot of people were like, oh, maybe they like Trent Thompson and Yusuf Corker. I said, I don't see how that's a valid reason, but I'll stick with it if that's the truth. And it's not the truth because they didn't even make the freaking roster. We have 3 safeties on the roster now, arguably 4 with Tony Jefferson, arguably 5 with Justin Lane if he plays some safety. But Andrew Adams could have made a difference. He would have been the most experienced safety on the roster, which is crazy to say because he was only drafted in 2016. I mean, he only came on. I mean, he was only signed in 2016. He wasn't drafted. But the next highest tenured guy or longest tenured guy was Julian Love. Julian Love's the next freaking longest tenured safety on the roster right now. He's still on his rookie contract.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yeah.
So
Julian
can
was getting cooked until
I
they
was about to
moved
say,
him
can
to
you? I just
safety. He was
gotta
struggling out.
address something real
Yeah,
quick. Can
but
you get the
Aaron
chat?
Robinson, yeah, no problem. But Diggy, but Aaron Robinson gets cooked too. So move him to safety. I don't understand. It's like if okay, it's one thing to talk about if Julian Love struggled and then they put him at safety, fine. But you're telling me that Aaron Robinson was a better prospect as a corner coming out, and they're just sticking with him at. And now they're promoting him from slot corner to boundary corner. Arguably, slot corner is harder to play than boundary corner. We can get into that whole spiel, but same thing. They still move Aaron Robinson to stay playing corner, even though I think me and Kush agree that we've talked about this before. Aaron Robinson would be good at safety, in my honest opinion, but Julian Love, I guess you could say he was getting cooked, but he wasn't that terrible to be like, oh, damn, we got to change your position. I don't think that at all. I think there was just a conflict in the roster and they were trying to find a way to keep guys on the roster. And they said, Julian Love, you're more expendable to be like more flexible to put at safety. And they just kept them like that. I don't think Julian Love was that terrible to say, damn, you suck. So we're putting you at safety. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. So I don't know.
I did see a question earlier that I could answer right now, asking, am I doing the fantasy teams this year? Yes, I am. I know I've been taking a while to set them up, but it's low key a blessing because injuries and stuff happen. I will be probably at the end of this stream actually showing you guys the 4 fantasy leagues. I'll also make a little bit posts online on Twitter and Instagram and stuff for you guys to join up. Just like last year, there will be 4 fantasy leagues, 2 PPRs, 2 non PPRs. The 4 different apps I use: ESPN, Yahoo, the NFL fantasy app, and Sleeper fantasy app. That way, like, nobody could complain that, oh, I don't like this app
Ash, hurry up
or
and set
something
that
like
up,
that.
bro. Because you said you were gonna give me a spot on there. I thought you forgot about me, Ash. I thought you forgot about me. I was like, wait, I thought I was supposed to get an invite to a fantasy league. But Namar asked, guys, who do you guys think would get as a veteran tight end? I had 2 names that I came up with in my prediction video. That was obviously the big one is OJ Howard, right? I think it would be great if we brought him in here. The next name is Anthony Ferkser. Now, the reason why I say Anthony Ferkser is because he's played a backup tight end for a long time with Tennessee. He was backing up Jeff Swaim. He was backing up Jonnu Smith, and he was actually doing a pretty good. He's actually a fan favorite for Tennessee. A lot of Tennessee Titans fans like Ferkser a lot, and he got cut by Atlanta, trying to get a backup spot behind Kyle Pitts. He got cut by Atlanta, and on top of that, fun fact: Anthony Ferkser was ahead of Tanner Hudson in the depth chart at Tennessee. So if Tanner Hudson makes this roster, Anthony Ferkser should definitely make this roster. And there should be no reason why Tanner Hudson has a spot here and Anthony Ferkser doesn't, because he was above him in the depth chart at Tennessee. Because Tanner Hudson was on Tennessee's roster last year. He was the 4th tight end. He was the 4th tight end, guys, for Tennessee. 4th. And now we have him as our 2nd tight end, and he just got here. So I I would like Anthony Ferguson to come on here. He's a good blocker, decent receiver. I think he's a perfect tight end we need there. And Ash said, any news on Austin Allen? He's on the practice squad. He's on the practice squad. So honestly, I'm okay. I love the underdogs, right? I love undrafted free agent rookies. I love like going into which ones are going to make the roster. You guys can go back in the days. Roger Lewis, Andrew Adams, Victor Cruz. There's a bunch of undrafted free agents that made an impact for the New York Giants the past couple of years. But I don't think any of these undrafted, even Timon Fox, I don't think any of these undrafted guys really deserve a spot yet. Like, I would be okay with just putting them on the practice squad and letting them develop. I don't think any of those undrafted guys really earned a spot, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. Like, shout out to Timon Fox. He made the roster. Good for him. He made a great play at the end of that second game. But I just don't think any of them did enough to make a roster spot. Like Zion Gilbert, I liked that he has potential, that cornerback, but he shouldn't make a spot. And Darren Evans either, the LSU prospect, he was all right. Didn't think he should have made a spot. There are a couple of guys out there. We had a lot of undrafted guys, so none of them really flashed enough to say, hey, you're gonna make the 53. So Austin Allen was all right. Maybe Andre Miller would have been the guy to make the roster, if he was healthy. But Howard went to the Bengals. I heard he was visiting with the Bengals. I don't know if he got signed by the Bengals. Maybe there's a confirmation on that bookend, but I know he was visiting the Bengals. I don't know if he visited yet. I think that was happening tomorrow.
So I was gonna say, if you're comfortable now, unless you got a couple more things you want to address, let's go ahead and talk about a couple of league-wide trades. One right here, we kind of mentioned the Justin Jefferson and Jalen Reagor one, but another one with the Eagles, they got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, which was a little bit of surprise to me because he was drafted so recently. Go ahead, man.
I am so pissed off, dude. I don't know why Eagles fans complain so much about Howie Roseman. Well, on top of that, when he makes trades like this, then they love him again. But they despise Howie Roseman. He's been consistently one of the better GMs as far as acquiring players via trade in ever that I've ever seen. Like, he does it multiple times every single year. Whenever he needs somebody quickly, he just oh, remember when Jay Ajayi was good? He's like, hey, I'll give you a fifth. Or I don't know what that trade was, a fourth or a fifth for Jay Ajayi. Okay, they go on to win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? They get these players that they need real quick, and they pay nothing for them. And I don't know what the trade details was for Jalen Reagor, but somebody said that the Eagles got more back for Jalen Reagor than the Cowboys got back for Amari Cooper. And I thought that was insane. I don't know the trade details. I can't remember the trade details for Amari. I think it was a fifth rounder for Amari. But the fact, if you really got more for Jalen Reagor than you would Amari Cooper from the Cowboys, that's crazy. That's crazy. Howie Roseman knows how to fleece players, but as far
Teams,
as
you mean?
Chauncey, teams. But as far as Chauncey Gardner goes, I that's a great move, man. That is a fantastic move. He's one of the better up and coming defensive backs in the league. Like, he's one of those guys like Tyrann Mathieu that plays slot and plays safety, but he's just bigger and stronger. So he's really good, man. Coming from Florida, I'm a big fan, and that's honestly, think about that, man. Now you have James Bradbury, you've got Darius Slay, you've got Chauncey Gardner. Who's their other safety? I don't remember. Do they have good safeties over there besides
Do they? No, they don't still have
CJ?
Jenkins, do they?
No. But their secondary already with those three guys is already really good. They still have Avonte Maddox, who isn't a slouch at slot corner.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that's. I don't want to trade Slayton for another receiver. The problem with Slayton is that he's bad receiver depth. Oh, isn't that he's bad receiver depth? It's that he's getting paid 2.6 to be a fifth. Yeah, exactly, Nova. I'm glad that you said that, because I honestly don't. I want to get rid of Slayton just because of the cap space. But then again, a lot of people make a valid point. Really, $2.6 million isn't going to keep us from possibly restructuring or doing something with Leonard Williams' contract next year, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, a penny saved is a penny earned, and that stuff rolls over. And on top of that, Darius Slayton, it's just think about return on investment. Okay, you don't want to buy something that you're never going to use, and on top of that, you paid a pretty penny for. Like I'm pretty sure, I don't know. Wan'Dale Robinson, how much is he getting paid as a second round pick? I mean, he might be making less than. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. I don't know about the rookie salary, but still, when it comes to Darius Slayton, I know he's done a lot for this organization the past 3 years, but he's been on the slight decline here. And honestly, like I said, I mentioned Tyler Johnson earlier. He got waived by the Bucks. I would love to bring him in here over David Sills, but at the same time, if you were to release Darius Slayton and keep Tyler Johnson or sign Tyler Johnson, I would be a-okay with that, you
Hmm.
know. But it is what it is. If the Giants want him keeping him, I'm not going to cry about it. I don't really think he's going to see much of the field until inevitably somebody gets hurt on the wide receiving core. But I don't think it's going to be that much of a big deal as people are saying it. I think it's just been a thing for the majority of the offseason. What are we going to do with Darius Slayton? That people are just in an uproar that he's still on the roster. And it's sort of like an Evan Ingram thing, right? It's like what happened to Evan Ingram. Now that he's off the roster, the next person to complain about is Darius Slayton. So, yeah, there's that.
I hear you. Now let's
Hmm.
get a little bit of these comments from the chat here. Will I accept this trade? Darius Slayton and a seventh for Denzel Mims. How has Denzel Mims been
I mean, why
in
do
the
we have to
NFL?
pay extra for Denzel Mims? Why do we
Good
have to?
question.
Why do we have to send Darius Slayton? If anything, they have to give us something. They got to give us something. Why are we going to give the leading receiver of this team for the past, 3 years, 2 years, 2 or 3 years, in exchange for Denzel Mims, who has literally done nothing in the league, literally nothing. I mean, not by his fault. I mean, he buried him on the depth chart. It almost seems like on purpose. I don't know why, but um, he hasn't done anything. So if anything, we give them Darius Slayton and we get Denzel Mims and like a 6th round pick and call it a deal.
Word.
And honestly, a lot of people are like, "Oh, a 6th round pick? Why do you even care about that?" Because you use it as draft capital. Look at the type of players you can get for 6th round and 7th round picks. Like, if anything, if I was a GM, because this may be a unpopular opinion, if I was a GM, I'd never use a 6th round pick or a 7th round pick. I would never use them. I would just use them to trade for players. I would never actually use them to draft players. I would use them to trade for players. What are the chances that you hit on a 6th or 7th round pick? Like slim to none. I'm just gonna use them to trade for players and call it a day. So yeah, yeah.
Okay. Next comment right here. Let's see. Howard went to the Bengals. Yeah, I didn't really want OJ Howard either. Do you think OJ Howard signed with the Bengals? Because if he does, then we may not be able to get him. Well,
I
I
don't think he
think
signed. I don't
you
think
don't
he
think he
signed.
signed.
He's visiting.
I know people want him, but like I would rather have a guy like Eric Ebron, even though Eric Ebron has had drop issues. At least like he's produced better
Nah,
than OJ Howard
nah,
had.
nah. I'll take OJ.
You'll take
Eric
OJ.
Ebron's Eric Ebron's washed and he's old, so I don't care.
How old is he?
I don't
Exactly.
know, but he was drafted in Odell's draft, and he's had a lot of injury history, so
Okay.
I'm not too fond of
I would rather
Ebron.
get like a guy that I won a couple years ago because he's younger. Devin Asiasi was released, but I'd
Right,
have to
he got
like
picked up
ask
though.
Charger fans. Oh, he already got picked up.
I think so. Let me look at his name. I
It's
saw
kind
his
of
name was
sad.
like all over Twitter today. So
While you pick that up, Eagles are going to be a very good team. Sadly, what I'm hoping for is the same thing that happened with that 2010 Dream Team, but we'll see, man. Nova says I don't want to trade Slayton for another receiver. The problem with Slayton is that he isn't a bad receiver. His depth. Yeah, he's getting paid 2.6 mil to be a fifth option. Also, if we trade Slayton for something, trade Slayton for
how you
a
spell his
position that we
name?
need. Corner or interior line specifically. Those two right there.
Dude, how you spell his name?
Devin and then ASI.
Okay, Evan. Okay, gotcha. I look on Twitter here. I don't know why this thing is lagging a lot. Let me see. Also, the bank. Okay, so OJ Howard visited with the Bengals, but the Bengals claimed Devin Asiasi.
Both of them,
So,
bro. They got both of them. Damn.
but remember, OJ's just visiting, and they claimed Devin Asiasi. So I don't think both of them are gonna make it on, but we'll see. We
I
will
guess,
see.
man. What was some other trades that went? I know I'm forgetting. Now I got to go on Twitter because we only
Yeah,
talked
there are
about 2 trades.
there are a couple. Yeah, but a lot of them really don't really matter.
Let's see here. Wow, guys, we're like literally 8 days away, 7 in a couple hours, 1 week from football, bro. That's kind of
Yes,
wild
sir.
if you think about
Yes,
it.
sir.
Really
Let me
is.
look at
Oh yeah, the
NFL
49ers
trade.
they let go of Trey Sermon, which was a little bit of a shock to me because wasn't he
That
drafted this
is
year or last year? But
last
Elijah
year.
Mitchell is just that much of that guy. I try to tell you all about him.
And they
But
got
yeah,
random running backs on that roster. Like look at the guys behind Elijah Mitchell. Like guys I never heard of before. So I don't really know why they let go of Trey Sermon.
yeah. Kenyon Drake signing with the Ravens, formerly of the Dolphins and Raiders. Of course, we talked about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I'm not worried about him. Kadarius Toney owns that man. Let's see here. Jalen Reagor, we spoke about. The Chargers are signing Sony Michel. A little bit of a surprise there.
Yeah. He got
Let's
cut by
see.
Miami. Yeah, I'm looking at Barstool Sports in honor of Rager going to the Vikings. They reposted Mike Zimmer, the former head coach of Minnesota, laughing at the Eagles for drafting Jalen Rager, and then they pulled the trigger on Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
He's literally laughing at them. It's hilarious. The Eagle, man, the Eagle. Let me tell you right now, Howie Roseman can't draft. He can't draft. Maybe that's why the Eagles fans don't like him. He can't draft, but he can trade. That man knows how to fleece people. So hopefully Joe Shane can be like that.
Well, we shall see, man. Let's see. And then just getting a couple more here. Ash says, I hope Jalen Hurts fools the Eagles so they don't move up for a quarterback next year. He's not good. I disagree a little bit. I feel like Jalen is better than what some people are saying, but I don't think he's amazing. I think he's good enough to get them back in the playoffs, especially with a stacked roster, or not stacked, but a really, really good roster like this one. What do you say?
About who?
Hurts.
They're probably gonna make they're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna make the playoffs. It's just I don't think he's gonna take them there though.
Mm-hmm.
In my honest opinion, maybe he has the dynamic of that rushing ability, but like I said, what's going to hinder him, just like last year. I mean, last year they made the playoffs, but I don't really think a lot of it was his doing. It was the team around him, and I guess a little bit was too with his being able to extend plays and run for first downs, like to keep the ball in their hands, stuff like that. I think that's something that he provides, but I'm not a big fan of Hurts. I mean, he's all right, but he's all
Okay.
right.
Heard you. Heard you.
I,
Is that?
I I
Go
I
ahead.
will say though, I have become a little bit more of a fan than I was, let's say, like his rookie year, where he was just like, well, not his rookie year, well, the first year that he played like full time, I wasn't a fan of him at all. But he's developed. I will say that he has developed. I don't know if you would say he's a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. I wouldn't say go that far. I don't know. A lot of people say that he's already in like the top 20, top 15. So I don't know. I don't know about that.
I was gonna say, I don't know if there's necessarily anything else to talk about unless you guys got some last minute questions. Definitely pop them in, and then I'll just share my screen to the leagues. It's not like you guys could join by looking at it. I have to actually provide the invitation link. But let me see if there's any other questions in the chat here. Any topics that we did not get to cover, KB? If you scratch your head a little bit.
Let me see. We talked about the waivers. We talked
The
about
next
Kitty
time
Free.
we're gonna have this together, by the way, Young Guns at least officially will be the 7th. But tomorrow night will be call-in show because I didn't get to do it Tuesday night. My Tuesdays are gonna be very packed moving forward, so I think the call-in show is gonna basically move to Thursday until my semester's over. And KB may pop on tomorrow night because we may have somebody that was supposed to be a guest on tonight, and that's Bobby Skinner, guys. So keep your
Yes,
guys out,
sir.
keep your eyes out for that. I said keep your eyes out for that. I'll post it obviously if that does happen.
Yeah, I think we covered everything. I think we covered everything. Um,
But yeah, the
yeah.
next time we meet is one day before regular season, and I'm sure we'll already have, or we're gonna be putting out, or previews to the game very soon and all
Yeah,
that. So it's gonna be something. I'll tell you that, my boy. It's
yeah.
gonna be something.
And Ash will be a guest on next week's show.
Yep.
The Get Back with Ashton will be. I think he just sent me a message too if we could push it to 9:30. So I get we'll try to put it at 9:30 for him so he could be able to pop on. But excited for that. It's always a fun stream when we got Ash in here. So
And let me just share my window real quick. So, like I mentioned earlier, I gotta give a shout out to, I can't remember who just basically reminded me to just get my fantasy leagues up and running. All of them are for fun, guys. And if any, like, if anybody but me wins, because I get really lucky with fantasy leagues, you get a free merch, a free shirt of your choice from the 3 new designs. So that's kind of just to put a little bit of stakes there. If any of you want some free merch from your boy, we got the PPRs first. ESPN is gonna be one of them, and then the Sleeper Fantasy app is another PPR. The ESPN draft will be September 4th at 9 p.m. The Sleeper draft will be September 5th at 8:30 p.m. Then for the 2 non-PPRs, the first one is on Yahoo. The draft time is not showing here for some reason. I'll have to check for the non. Can I just check it right here? Is it in Commissioner? I think then drafts and keeps. Where is draft time? Right now, the draft time is September 4th at 10:15. So this draft is going to be right after the PPR draft. And then finally, the NFL, the regular NFL fantasy app for non-PPR, this is going to be September 5th as well. Like I said, I'll get a couple posts up. So for whichever one you guys want to join, you'll just click the link and you'll join in. Other than that, I think that's going to be it for tonight, KB. Any last thoughts, man?
No, great stream. Thank you everybody for popping in. We got a lot covered, and listen, man, every day is just one day closer to some Giants football. So I'm glad that we have the initial 53. We're kind of seeing how this roster is shaping up. Very excited. It's gonna change again. Like I honestly think the Giants are gonna bring in. First of all, we need to bring in a tackle. In my honest opinion, I know you said Matt Parrott's coming back, but we can't wait for Matt Parrott to come back. You know, he's going to be clear to be back at least by week 4. We need to get a depth tackle in here. So I think we're going to bring in another tackle, and I think we're going to bring in another tight end. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens with that. So the roster is not finished yet.
All good, man. Guys, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. The show is not possible without y'all. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. A little bit shorter, but we got a lot of things done. We'll see y'all tomorrow, probably on the Will. I know I'll definitely see you guys tomorrow, but we'll definitely see you next week with Ash on as our guest, as we're getting really close to the NFL regular season here, man, and preparing for the Tennessee Titans. Peace.